Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. In today's episode, I'm going to look at Topaz Mask Ai. I want to show you how to effectively blur out your backgrounds in shots like this. Now, those shots in the bottom are the before, and the top shots are the after. So when you're doing like portraits and family images and things like this, blurring out your background is really a cool thing. Even if you have a really great lens with the shallow depth of field, it's nice to get that extra blur in the background. Now, I've done some videos in the past where I've showed you how to create a shallow depth of field, but this is just a basic background blur using Topaz Mask Ai. I'm going to show you how fast and easy it is to do without really doing hardly any mask refinements at all. If any, really, to be honest with you. It's really quick. It's really fast. Let me show you how this is done without any further ado. Let's get started. I'm starting out here in Photoshop, and I'm going to go right into Topaz Mask Ai, but just a little information up front. I just did a basic auto adjustment in Lightroom, and I did some sharpening using Topaz Sharpen AI, got rid of the noise, and gave it a little bit of sharpening. And now we're going to go ahead and send it into Topaz Mask AI. As a note, I have Mask AI set up to make a layer for me, so I don't even have to duplicate my background layer. So all I have to do is come up to Filter, and we'll launch Mask AI. And here we are in Mask AI. Now, if Mask AI looks a little different to you here, you'll notice now we have a toolbar here on the left. Our tools are over here. They used to be on the right-hand side here, but they changed some things. This is the latest update. This is Mask AI version 1.3.1. This is a free update if you already own Mask AI. And pretty cool. Hey, but look in the description below. Right now, at the time of this video airing, Mask AI is on sale right now. And if you click on my affiliate link down there in the description and use my promo code David Kelly, all one word, David Kelly, you can save an additional 15%. So it is on sale for a while. So check that out in the description. So let's go ahead and I'm going to try to auto-detect subjects. I don't think it's going to work because of, this is little Max here, and this is his father in the background kind of watching over him. This is my little grandson here. He's so cute, but man, he gets around, so you got to really watch him. So let me go ahead and click subject, and I think it's going to get full because it's going to see the subject in the background, but I only want Max. It's not smart enough to know that, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And by the way, I just do a Command Z. I'm working with a Mac, and I think it's a Control Z on a PC if you want that shortcut. But let's go ahead and draw our compute area. Now, you notice I have this blue compute brush here. And Mask AI, in case you don't know, if you haven't watched any of my videos in the past on Mask AI, it's a tri-map system, basically, meaning there's three colors. Blue for compute, so I'm going to draw an area around Max on the edges of things where Mask AI is to compute. Then I'm going to make the background all red, which means cut, and the green, which is already on the overall image, means to keep. So you'll see that here in a sec. So let me go ahead and draw around Max. Now here's the way I like to do it. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller. I'm just using my left bracket key, and you can use the right bracket key to make it bigger. So I'm just going to click once, and then I'm going to hold the shift key down. This is the way I like to do it. It's really fast. Just get around Max here like so. I'm going to do this fast because to me this tutorial is all about how fast you can get this job done. I'm going to come back and work on the hair in a little bit here. All right, so we're just going to come around here like so. Get this all in here. The shift click just makes it a little bit quicker. And right down here, we're going to get all this here. And then there's an area right here. And then what I need to do is, I said, I got to get rid of the background. So here's your bucket tool right here. Click this, and you have three buckets: a compute, a keep, and a cut. I'm going to get the cut bucket, give it one click here. I'm going to give it a click right here. Oh, I'm going to get my brush again, and let's click on the brush tools. And here's our brush tools in here. I'm going to get my compute brush and some areas of hair. Let me zoom in a little bit to Max here. Hey Max, there you are. You're all green, man. Okay, just some areas here where I see a little bit of the background showing through. I just want to make sure I get the compute brush on those areas like so. Now all I need to do is, now we have three options here. AI for artificial intelligence, it's the one I generally use. We have a new option called translucent, like think wedding veils and things like that. And I have a video where I demonstrated that. I'll link that in the description below as well. And then we have a contrast mode for like basic simple masks. So let's go ahead and click compute the mask, and Max will be cut out here really quickly. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole image. I'm in this view two panes mode right here. I like this. But I'm going to shut my tri-map off here so I can actually see the background, because I like to see what effect I'm getting. I like to compare the original on the left to the blurred background that I'm going to do on the right here. All right. And the whole thing I want to point out in this tutorial is you don't have to get too crazy about the edges of your mask here too much, okay? Because when you're just blurring a background, it's very simple and easy to do. You don't have to get really crazy about, man, I got to totally refine this and spend a lot of time. Now, I have videos on that where I show you how you can do really refined edges with all the tools and things like that. But this video is about like simplicity of blurring out a background, how quick and easy it is. And really, this took me probably on the example that I showed you at the beginning of the video, probably took me about 5 minutes to do this. It was really simple. But there you go. We got that right there. Now let's just simply come up here, see where it says background here. And I'm going to click on, we have these different options, none, blur. We can add a color to the background, or we can put an image back there, like, you know, hey, the Grand Canyon or whatever. Max is at the Grand Canyon. But I just want to blur the background, and I love this feature. And I really use it a lot for flower photography and things like that. So I'm just clicking on blur. Now, you've got this blur strength up here, so you can adjust the amount. Now, I don't want it. You know, you could go real crazy and make it like that, but that doesn't look realistic. But I basically am simulating like a really expensive lens that has a very shallow depth of field, like a very large aperture, like maybe a 1.8 or something like that. So let me just blur that out. So if I shut this the whole way off, move it to the left, there's the original, and let's just simply start to blur the background. So we want that little extra bokeh in there. Now we can zoom in here and take a look at Max's hair. As you can see, everything looks really good right there. Now let's just take a look around his body. Yeah, you know, compare the left to the right, and we can see here, it did a great job. I mean, and it's just that simple. Now, we have some other controls here if we wanted to. If we wanted to darken the background, we could. In fact, I think I might just want to darken that background just a little bit. Not much. Just to set Max out a little bit more. So I'll darken that background a little bit. And then, of course, you have all these other adjustments. You can work with temperature, highlights, contrast, all these adjustments, saturation. But I'm just going to take the exposure down a little bit, and now I'm going to go see where it says adjust right here. I'm going to click this drop down and go to the foreground, and I think I might just give it a little extra exposure, and that's just going to give Max a tiny bit of exposure. I didn't do this on my original intro image, but I think here I just want to have a little bit of light on Max, just to lift him from the scene a little bit here. Okay, and I think that's good. Let me zoom in one more time, see how everything looks. Yeah, I think everything looks real good. Now, all I need to do at this point is, again, I've done no refinement whatsoever to this. All I need to do is click, where am I here? Apply. I couldn't see the apply there for a second. So I'm going to click apply, and when I do, I have two options here. Transparent, that would send it back as a layer mask, or composite, that would send it back with a blurred background. I want to send it back as a composite. So let me go ahead and click composite, and that sends me right back into Photoshop. Just that simple. All right, here we are back in Photoshop. Now here's the before, and here is the after. I think it looks a lot better with that softer background. Max is a little bit lighter. I think that looks really good. Now take note here, when Mask AI sent this back into Photoshop, it put a layer mask on here, and this is really nice in case you have any issues around the hair or anything, you could use the layer masking and paint that hair back in if you had an issue, or around the body if it missed something you didn't catch in Mask AI. This is really the reason I like to work in Photoshop, because I can fix things. So I could go ahead and use some layer masking. Say for instance, if I came into the hair here and said, I missed a little spot here, but look how nice, you can even see the little hairs around his neck here. Mask AI did a really great job there. So, but if I needed to paint in anywhere here, I could just take some black paint on this layer mask right here and fix it up any area that I needed to fix. But it's just that simple to do. And that is the first one. Now let's do one more. But as you can see, this is a very simple and easy thing to do. And here's our last example. I love this picture of Max. I think he just looks really cool. He's got that little dandelion in his hand. Super cute, Anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and launch Mask AI, and we'll get started here. Okay, here we are in Mask AI. Let's try the auto detect subject and see what it does. It does a pretty good job. It missed an area right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to hand paint around my mask. I found remember I showed you the initial before and after shots at the beginning of this tutorial. I actually did this first. So I'm going to, I was working on a technique where I made my brush a little bit smaller, and I started to just do that shift click thing that I showed you on the previous image around here. And I felt that worked really well for me by making the brush smaller. So I'm experimenting with that. Give that a try and see what you get. But I felt I got really good results by making that brush a little bit smaller. So give it a shot and see what you think. I'm going to come around here. I'm going to go around the outside of the hair here. And then I'm going to go back and get inside the hair a little bit more. But right up to here. Click around here. But this shift click thing works really quick and fast. It's really easy to do. So just go ahead and get down through here. I got to get that dandelion over there. Don't let me forget to do that. Oops, I missed a little spot right there. And here, and a shift click down to here. Now let me get the dandelion. Now I'm going to make my brush even smaller. Just paint around this dandelion. Just come down the stem here, around here. And then on the hair up here, make my brush a little bit larger and just paint on some of these areas here where you can see a little background coming through the hair. This doesn't have to be perfect because we're just blurring out the background. And the idea here to me is all about the speed of which we can get this done. And now we need to get rid of the background areas, so we need to get a bucket tool, a red bucket tool. So click here, click right here. And now let's compute our mask and see what kind of result we get. I'm going to use the AI mode. Compute the mask. And there's our mask. Now let's go ahead and shut the tri-map off on the left side of the before image right here so we can compare the two. Now I realize there's a little bit of green in here that we could go ahead and refine, but honestly we don't have to. So all we need to do here, because we're just blurring out the background, so we're going to click on background and we're going to click on blur just like I did last time. All right, and we can come here and we could zoom in a little bit here. Now, let's see how much blur we want in here. So, let's shut this off the whole way, and let's slowly start to bring the blur up. And let's, again, I want it to look natural, but I want a decent amount of blur, just so Max just really pops out. But I don't want it to look fake. I want it to look like it was an expensive, again, like around a 1.8 aperture lens, wide open, somewhere right around in there. Now we can go ahead and zoom in and see if we need to fix anything, like the dandelion here. Now it did a really nice job around the dandelion. Now the stem, I think, needs fixed. So let me go ahead and get the brush tool here. Let me get the green keep brush. I'm going to make this brush really small. And you can paint on either side you want. So I'm going to paint on the left side because I can see this dandelion. I'm just going to come right down like that. And look, it just fills it right in. And there's a couple areas that it missed here, like right in here. They're gone. So I can come here and just paint this area right here like that. and watch it fix itself over on this side. Yeah, very cool. That looks good. And it just overshot that a little bit there. So I can get a cut brush, which is an E for the shortcut, and just paint just a little bit right there in the edge. And that should clean that right up. Yeah, that looks really good. I think that's fine. And let me go with the keep brush and just paint right there. I may have screwed that up. That looks good. I think that's fine. Just comparing the two sides there. Let me just paint right here. See if that fills in right there. Yeah, that's cool. That's just that little bit of refinement in there. I think it's fine. And this area right here, I think, is a little bit of that darker color. Will sit right there. There you go. Now take your time on these things, you know, and get it right. I'm going fast. But just a couple little touches here and there fixes it right up. The hair looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I think it's fine. Now let's zoom back out and let's take a look at our blur here a little bit. Do I want to blur this a little bit more? We got to get this right in here before we send it out. Yeah, I just want a little extra blur in there. And I think I'm going to leave the background right the way it is. Let me just, let me go to the foreground and maybe see what happens if I give Max just a little more exposure. And I mean just a tiny bit. Like there's a 3. Yeah, I think that's nice. Is that maybe a 2. I think a 2, just that tiny little bit of extra exposure. I think we're good. Let's just look around our subject really carefully here. I think everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And remember, we have a choice of transparent, which would send it back in with a layer mask, or composite. I want the blur, so I'm going to click composite. And we'll go right back into Photoshop. All right, so here's our before and here's our after. A big improvement here. Now let's zoom in here and look at the hair here. Because remember, we have this layer mask here. And remember, I told you we can fix some things up here. And let's just take a look at the before and the after here. So like right up in here, I could add a little bit of hair up in here. So I'm going to make sure that I'm on my brush. Make sure I have a black paint swatch here. And make sure I got a brush tool here. And my brush is set at like 30% opacity. So I'm just going to paint here a couple times like so. Just see that I can just fix that up right there. Is there any other areas that I need to fix? Yeah, maybe right over in here. Look, right in here, so I can hit that a couple times. This is what I mean by fixing little things up. You don't have to get too crazy inside of Mask AI when you're just blurring. Now, when you're doing a, like a background replacement or whatever, you might want to spend some time in there and get it 100% perfect. And I highly recommend that, and I do that. But on a simple blur like this, hey, it's all about saving time. And all you have to do is get it to look good, and it looks fantastic. So, again, here's my before, and here's my after. I'm totally happy with it. There it is. Hold the presses. I thought I was happy, but when I was editing the video, I missed this little spot right here. So look, I'm on 30% right. Watch. 1, 2, 3. 3 little hits, and bang, it looks good. Well, there you go. A real simple and easy way to blur your backgrounds out without worrying about too much in refinement. The first image, I did no refinement. The second image, I did a little refinement around the dandelion inside of Mask AI. And I did a few little touch-ups in Photoshop. I really like working with Photoshop, and I highly recommend, if you do have Photoshop, that you work that way from Photoshop. It makes sense to me. But either way, you're going to get the job done. It's just going to be a little easier in Photoshop. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and click that bell notification icon. And then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today on The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I'll see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing!